Welcome to the Ask a Catholic Lawyer podcast. The purpose of the Ask a Catholic Lawyer podcast is to be an educational resource for the Catholic faithful, laypersons, bishops, priests, and religious who in our changing world and our confusing legal and political climate often feel troubled and abandoned like sheep without a shepherd, as our Lord says in Matthew 9:36. The Ask a Catholic Lawyer podcast features interviews with prominent Catholic attorneys from around the country who share their wisdom, insight, and experience to enlighten and inform our listeners regarding current and timeless legal issues of general interest and answer questions submitted in advance by our audience to askacatholiclawyer@gmail.com. The Ask a Catholic Lawyer podcast is for informational purposes only and may not be construed as legal advice for any particular need and is no substitute for retaining a lawyer for any particular legal need or question you may have. Which gets us to our episode today. Our first two episodes featured some excellent, wonderful interviews, discussions we had with two very prominent, experienced, just very wise attorneys. Michael Kenny in episode 1, John Birch in episode 2, and I would encourage you, give those episodes a listen. Some timeless, some wonderful wisdom in there, a lot of wisdom in there. But we wanted to look at today something a little different for episode 3, and that's a question that we get. What are the top 3 things to look for in an attorney when you need an attorney? What are the top things to look for? And to me, it really boils down to 3 things. And doesn't it really all boil down to one thing? What are we looking for? Someone that we can trust. And just like we talk about being sheep without a shepherd, isn't it how we feel when we need an attorney? It's usually for a reason where we really need a good shepherd. We really want to find a good shepherd. What does a good shepherd look like in an attorney? The top 3 things that go into being a good shepherd? Well, what are the things that go into finding an attorney that you can trust? To me, it really boils down to integrity, creativity, and capability. First, integrity. What do we mean by integrity? Well, the fellow that's got the portrait of over my shoulder here, St. Thomas More, and that's that particular one right there is a present I received from my daughter who did that for me. That man, St. Thomas More, is known for his integrity. Well, it's integrity. Well, integrity, isn't it doing and saying the same things, believing and acting the same way? A lack of duplicity, that you are the same person in any function you are. For Thomas More, he was the same person with his children, with his wife, before the Lord, as he was with the king, with his clients. And isn't it the case that that first thing that we really want to know in someone that we can trust for anything, whether it's any sort of relationship, but any sort of service that we need, anything we need from a doctor, a mechanic, a lawyer, don't we want to trust them? Yes. And isn't the first step of trust being that they're a person of integrity, someone that we know we can believe what they say, we know that their actions are going to line up with their faith. So then when we line it up with, if we want to line up a particular service that we need, like an attorney, with someone that shares our faith, someone that understands our faith, someone that shares our values, and at least someone that we know, is not going to be contrary to our faith and values or give us advice or guidance that we need as a person going to an attorney in whatever context it is, whatever legal need it is. We want to be able to trust that that person's going to be able to be the same person that they are in all circumstances. Someone that we can trust ultimately starts with whether that person has integrity, whether we can believe what they say, whether they're going to give us advice that's consonant with the good, with the overall good. And that gets us to our second thing that I identify as the second thing to really look for in an attorney. Once we have some assurance of someone that's a person with integrity, the second thing really to me is creativity. And that comes even before the third thing, which is culpability in my mind, because the creativity of the lawyer is something that's probably undervalued. It's probably something that's hardest to find. And what do I mean by creativity? It means being more than just a lawyer. You really want to try to find someone. It's my experience whenever I needed to find someone uh, to either assist me or assist the client. You want to have someone that isn't just stuck to, well, I've never done it before, so I can't do that. Well, I can't do that because I've always done it that other way. The only way you can do this is this, right in this box. You can't do anything else. Okay? Well, usually you're only coming to the lawyer when you have something that you can't figure out yourself. If it was so easy and it was inside of a box, you wouldn't have to go to somebody. You wouldn't need that professional help from an attorney. You wouldn't need that good shepherd to help you find a solution to whatever problem that is. And the creativity of the lawyer is hard to find because frankly, the education and the training of the lawyer and then the work of the lawyer is often so rigid within certain bounds. So it is a rare trait, but it's certainly, to me, a very important part of finding an attorney that you can trust is going to involve, is that person have the creativity to think outside the box, to be able to understand your goals, hear and understand, listen and understand your goals, and help find a solution to it. What's the path? Here's the end that you're trying to get to. How do we get there? And the good lawyer is going to be able to say, okay, to go from here, A to Z, we're going to travel down this road. You want to get to that end of the road. You want to get to this spot. Well, we're going to go down this road, and over here is going to be a guardrail. You can't go over that. Don't go into that guardrail. All right. Over here on this side, all right, it's going to be a cliff. Don't go over that cliff. All right. You stay in here. But we can stay within this road, and we could do a couple different things. There's a couple different ways that we can go down and stay within the road. We can take this vehicle or that vehicle. Okay, we can walk or we can run. We can do a lot of things on that path. We can carry some things. We can let go of some things. We can go with some people, and we can maybe choose to go on our own as the course may be. And all of that is going to involve situational thinking. It's going to involve some creativity, and it really goes hand in glove with the necessity of, if you're going to be able to trust an attorney, you got to be able to have someone not only with integrity, but also with the creativity to come up with a solution that fits your needs. And then leads to, of course, they've got to have capability. So point three, the three top things that I think you need to look for in an attorney is capability. Person has to be capable of the type of thing that you're looking for. And obviously, the having the law license alone, having the legal education alone is certainly gets one in the door as far as what they can do to help you. But the law is it's hard to know everything. It's hard to know everything about even one area of law. So it's certainly the case that the more refined or the more precise the question, the more that you need someone that really has a specialized knowledge. But that capability not only means the specialized knowledge in that area, but also having the capability to do the particular thing that you need, the goal that you have, within the context of what the available resources are. Certainly, that someone is capable of doing something for you doesn't mean it's the right thing for you when it comes to expense or when it comes to time. So there's many aspects involved in capability that involve more than just the pure technical competence. And it really goes hand in hand. The capability and the creativity is a iterative process back and forth. It's kind of a virtuous loop, if you will, and you throw in some integrity in the mix, and you got a person that's going to keep you in mind first, that's going to keep you informed, and it's going to keep you, in that sort of feeling and mode that, goodness, this is a good shepherd looking out for my best interest in someone that I can trust. Well, then you have a combination that you could really use to help you with your goals, and that's really what it's all about. The lawyer should be a partner. And I guess the last thought, um, in the mix of finding someone that you can trust, finding a good shepherd that you can trust, someone that has those top three things that I identify as having the integrity, having the creativity, and having the capability. Um, in the mix of all that is having a good, the overall ability to have the relationship of trust, and have the sense that this is a partner with you in a task. And I think that a lot of times in our atomized society, we get more transactional. And if I'm gonna go for if I need a mechanic, well, goodness, if I can find someone I can trust, that has integrity, that has a little creativity, that has a little capability. Okay, you put that all together. If I see a mechanic like that, well, I'm gonna be able to stick with that person and have that person, help me through a long relationship. And the same goes for a doctor. Same goes for a lawyer. Same goes for anything that we need. And I think that perhaps the relationship between the lawyer and the non-lawyer has gotten to the point where perhaps we're a little bit too transactional, too much of what they refer to as, or what could be referred to as, a one-off. And I think that if you get that combination of the integrity, the creativity, and the capability, you have a good shepherd in the law that you can really trust. And then when specific needs that fall outside the capability of that particular person, well, then that person has the integrity to tell you, and the creativity to help you find a solution that involves bringing someone else in that has the specific capability that you can team with. So there you go. That's a good winning combination, and that's our episode 3 for today. We wanted to give a little something, a little change of pace every so often. We're going to mix in with the interviews of these prominent attorneys. We're going to answer some specific questions, and question one often is in people's minds the top 3 things to look for in retaining an attorney. And I hope this was helpful for you today. So thank you for tuning in. We're in the process of every little bit getting a little better, a little more sophisticated with the technology here. We're going to have a website coming up here soon. You'll see this. Maybe you'll be seeing this via the website. We're going to get on more platforms here and get this spread out a little bit, and hopefully that what we provide here will be useful, will be a blessing, will be a service to you at any point. Don't hesitate to ask a Catholic lawyer at gmail.com. Send in your questions that we can have on future episodes. Any requests for either questions to address, topics, any suggestions for guests to bring on the show, askacatholiclawyer at gmail.com. And relatively soon we'll have a ability to have you sign up for keep our notices and our newsletters and things like that, step by step. askacatholiclawyer at gmail.com in the meantime, and keep tuning in. And we look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to the next episode. God bless you.